Hey everybody, welcome to episode 74 of the Fiberista Files. Today is Thursday, April 5th. I did that without looking. Alright, this is going to be a very short episode because I'm supposed to video chat with my husband in 35 minutes and he hates when I'm late, so I'm going to run through this. I hope you're buckled in because we're going to move quick. Alright, week in review. I am recording a day late today. I'll explain why in a little bit. Pretty basic week last week, except for the fact, that my friend Katie, JetGirl1313, the known fly, that Katie, came over last Saturday and stayed over. She was here, I think, 14 or 15 hours. She got here early in the morning and she busted her butt for me with stuff for the shop all day on Saturday. She skeined more than 50 skeins of yarn for me so that they're ready to go and ready to dye. She kept me on track, kept me going. We went for a walk. We did a bunch of stuff. So great big thank you to Katie. She really helped me out. Skeining is one of those tasks that it's really hard to stick with. After 3 or 4 or 6 or 12 skeins, you're really ready to do something different. And she really stuck it out, and we had a great time. My husband was down, and we just laughed and laughed some more. And neither one of us felt like recording because we both recorded just a few days prior, so there's no episode there, but we had a great time. And then this weekend, let's see what else happened this weekend. My parents came down on Sunday. First time they'd seen the apartment, other than my mom sometimes watches me. Hi, Mom. That was nice. We went out to lunch to Highland's. It's kind of like a small town sort of countrified restaurant, but it's in Ellsworth, which is not a small town. But it was really good food. I had a chicken quesadilla that was amazing. So delicious. And their French fries were fabulous. Helen's is on the list of places that we can go if we don't feel like eating here at the house. So that was good. And I had a pretty regular week at school. Sorry. This is the last week of quarter 3, so everyone's furiously trying to get stuff done. I'm wrapping up my poetry unit, which is a lot of work for the kids, because they're actually in the writing and revision process, so that's always a good time. Trying to keep on top of it, trying not to fall behind. It's really hard to do business stuff here and school stuff. So, like yesterday, I took a night off from the business. I didn't dye anything or scan anything or do anything like that. I just graded papers, and I needed to do it, and I got a lot accomplished. Kind of hard not to feel guilty, but you do what you got to do, I guess, and I'm in much better shape than I was. I still have a stack of papers to grade this weekend, but hopefully I can get my husband to help me out with the organizational piece. Excuse me. And we can get that done so it doesn't ruin my entire weekend. We don't have any major plans this weekend. We're going to go see Hunger Games on Saturday, I think. But other than that, we're going to be playing laying low, which is how I like it. I like to lay low. If you catch my meaning. So funny. That's pretty much it. Not next week, but the week after is April vacation, baby. We get a week off of school. I'm going to have 10 days. I'm not coming down here. I'm going to stay in my apartment. I just sent an order to be shipped to the house, and I'm going to bring all my dye stuffs up, and I'm going to dye the week that I'm there. So while my husband's working, because he doesn't get the week off, I'll be dyeing my brains out for you guys and for shows season. So yeah, let's hope that goes well. Yep. All right. What else? I have notes today, and they're in the actual draft on the blog, so that when I post the podcast on the blog, everything's ready to go. Nothing's linked, of course, but at least I actually wrote some notes. So bear with me if I look over here while I do this. All right, knitting. I knit on 2 things in the past week. The first thing is actually a new project. I know. Let me show you my list of knitting doom, shall I? There's my desk. Oh, there you are. There's my poster. That's a dark crystal, by the way. You really should watch that if you haven't. So this is, you're not going to be able to see that with the glare, huh? The top list, the top green list, this list right there, the top, that's all the stuff that I have in progress. You probably can't see it because of the glare, but there's 8 projects. 8 projects currently on the needles. That's depressing. Down here is the knitting to start list, which is the list of things I get to cast on when I cast something else off. There's a discrepancy there. Because I never cast anything off. That's like my immediate cue. Yeah. Not good. Now I'm going to have to frig around with this forever to get it to sit back. I had this perfectly set up too. Why did I move that? There. Sorry about that. Not only have I not finished anything other than those socks in the past 2 months, I've 8 things on the needles, and I can feel my stress level. Like, I really need to get something finished so that I feel better. That being said, I cast on a new project. I know it sounds illogical, but this is a deadline project, and it's for a really awesome person who deserves and needs this. So, my stress can't wait. I am knitting squares for Baby Afghan, and I am knitting these squares, it's for a little boy, and I'm knitting them out of Cascade Yarns Pacific, which is not a yarn that I'd worked with before. I got them from Shirley's Yarns in Hancock, which is my local yarn store. This is 40% superwash merino wool and 60% acrylic. 100 grams, 213 yards. This is color 16, which is a minty green, and this is color 47, which is a deep royal blue. I just grabbed 2 skeins of yarn. I got a pair of crappy Takumi needles, which are the bamboo needles. I've had these in my stash. They're 4.5 millimeters, so that must be, what, 7s, I think? Straights, which I haven't knit with straights in a while, and wow, is that a lesson in futility. I keep catching in on things. But I'm just basically knitting 7-inch squares that are reversible or mostly reversible, that are going to be seamed by another friend into a blanket. So the first one I did is in the green, the color number 16. It's just a simple seed stitch square. It is 35 stitches across and 50-some stitches up. I'm not going to count it, but it's somewhere in the vicinity of 50. It's pretty dense fabric, but pretty squishy. This yarn is very soft. There's one mess up on it, but I'm not going to show you because none of you will see it. There's no point in torturing myself with it. And then the next one that I knit is a basket. Ooh, holes look really bad. There you go. Basket weave squares, which are squares that were 5 stitches across and 5 rows up. So they're more rectangular really than they are square, but that's how that one looks. So I have 2. Now I'm knitting 8. So I need 6 more combinations of knits and purls. I don't know what else to do, so send me a link. Let me know. What else should I knit? I might try one on the diagonal and do garter diagonal. I might do block. I don't know. We'll see what happens, I guess. But yeah, those are actually pretty quick. And I can knit quite a bit of that in the car because I'm making up the pattern. It's just real simple, basic knit purl pattern. So that's pretty good car knitting. I try and remember to keep a ball of yarn and the needles in my Monroe bag when I'm in the car and when I'm not driving and knit away. So maybe I'll get some done this weekend. The only other thing that I've been working on is the My Wish shawl by Laura Lindemann. Dude, I am this close to finishing this shawl. Only 5 months late. What did I say I was going to finish it in November? I laugh at my deadlines. I am on the colorwork section, or the one color section, I should say, and you can see there that I'm almost done. Maybe you can't see. Put it on my head. No, that's worse. On the white? Hold it up. On the blue. There, it's better. I am almost done this bit right here with the last set of triangles coming together. I got these 3 little stitches right there to put together, and then, so I think I've got 3 more rows because I'm on a purl row. After those 3 rows, 5 colors of the Blue Jay, which is the blue-green color that I got from Enchanted Knoll, and it's time to cast off. So ready to be done that. I really been working hard on that this week to get that done. Partially to get something off the needles, partially because I need those needles for other projects, and partially because every other row is straight purl so I can watch TV, which I'll talk about in a minute. It's being knit out of Woolmiza 80/20 Twin in the Young Mouse colorway, and Enchanted Knoll Enchantment Sock in the Blue Jay colorway. I don't remember the composition of this, but it's got stuff in it. And you can see I still have quite a bit left of both of these. So it's going. 3 rows from being done that section, and then 5 rows, so less than 10 rows from the end. Then I probably need to give my sweater some love. I've got 2 single socks. One needs just like a couple of rows to finish. The other one just needs a second sock. Those Cthulhu mittens for my brother. The winter birches mitts that I've been a total fail. I'll probably knit some on that before I pick up anything else. That's got to get going. So we'll see. We'll see. If I get down to 5 projects on the needles, I get to cast something else on. So, all right. Spinning? No spinning. Dye pots. Very quickly, I'm going to go through what has been in my dye pots because Katie skeined up all this yarn for me. So all I had to do was put the pretty colors on it, cook it in the oven. It's really magic. I really love being freed from the drudgery of doing some of these small chores, and just being able to create really makes me happy. Not all of these have been reskeined, so some of them you'll see them reskeined, some of them you won't. A couple of these you're not going to see in the shop update because they're custom orders, but in case you want to make your own custom order at some point, you know, I'll show them to you. So the first one is Limitless, which you have seen in fiber, but you haven't seen it in sock yarn before. It's a bright gold, fades into a light blue, sort of a nautical blue, into a darker blue, and then into a black. And here's how it looks reskeined. Very highly variegated, gorgeous. I love Limitless. So that's Limitless. Bending out of frame so I can get them out of my way. Excuse me. The next one of these was a custom order, but I think the other 2 will be up for grabs. This is I Love You Every Day. It's the colorway that I dyed up that was inspired by Darren from Knitting in Circles podcast. This is dyed up in burgundy, rose, maroon, sort of a beigey red. This is what it looks like. It's kind of messed up. This is what it looks like reskeined. There we go. All kinds of lovely shades. This is more semi-solid. This would look great in a shawlette. Don't you think, with like a heart shawlette? Just saying. I'm sorry if you hear my chair. It's making creaking noises. It doesn't usually. The next one is also, there's one that's a custom order, and the other ones will be up for grabs. This is Rare Breed. This is black, goes into a chocolatey brown, and fades into a taupey silver, taupey gray. And I love how it looks reskeined. These would be a great pair of man socks. Don't you think? There we go. All those colors work really well together. That's pretty well balanced. I love it. That's Rare Breeds. I should say these are all sugar maple sock, which is 75% superwash wool, 25% nylon. It's a strong workhorse sock yarn. It's not the softest on the market. It does soften up the more that you wash it and wear it. I will say that. But a nice rugged yarn. Now the next one is Motion, which again you've seen in fiber before. It is this bright gold, and then this rich maroony red, and I allowed the color to really travel quite a bit on that, so it fades into some lighter areas as well. And then after that dark maroon area is black as well. This is what it looks like reskeined. Gorgeous. Again, very highly variegated. You'd want to do really simple sock patterns with that. Maybe a simple slip stitch like a chopstick sock, or maybe a Hermione, like a knit pearl or a Manhattan, something that doesn't really require a whole lot of patterning. I don't know, maybe. These next 2 you have not seen. I don't have them reskeined. You've probably seen them before. Sea Glass, I know you've seen before. I keep having it over and over again because it's a great colorway. It starts with a blue and a green, and that color is pretty accurate. And then what I do is I dip them each in one side in the blue, one side in the green, and then I take the leftover dye and I combine it. And it gives me this really pale bluey green color that softens the difference between the two. So when you reskein it, there's a lot of shades in there. It's not really as, it's, the difference in colors isn't as obvious as that. So I have 3 of those. And I have 3 of these. This is Bo Peep. This is a colorway I've done in fiber, but I haven't done in yarn before. But I saw the really soft pale blue-green, and I wanted a soft pale pink to go with it. So this is pink and purple, which it's going to be washed out a little bit on the screen, apparently. And there's areas that look blue because when the purple takes the dye, it expresses blue, which is the blue is a little bit of color that doesn't take up. And sometimes if there's an undyed area or a lightly dyed area, it can have sort of a blue tint to it. But it's purple and pink. It's called Bo Peep. Very girly. Great for little girl socks. Again, this is almost semi-solid, although it is tonal. So you could get away with a sweater for that, probably, a baby sweater. For sure. And it's superwash, so won't felt. Okay. I did do some old appliances in sugar maple sock, I mean. These are all custom orders, so you can't get them. But if you did order them from me, this is what they're going to look like. Starts with a really rust red, goes into this avocado-y green, which fades a little bit before it turns into the brown. This sort of toasted almond color. Really attractive. Looks just like old appliances, all stuck together in their own special ring of hell. I like it. I think it's happy. Prism is another one. I think there may be one available. I know that I've had at least 2 custom orders. I gotta go check my custom order list, but this is Prism. Starts with a super hot scarlety red, goes into a yellow, which fades into a light green, which you're gonna have a hard time seeing right there, light green. Goes into a nice rich dark tropical green, and then ends up with this really rich deep blue. Here's how it looks reskeined. Lovely. Exceptionally highly variegated. If you go into the Highland Handmades Ravelry group and look in the finished object pictures towards the end, a woman just knit a pair of socks in this, and they did almost stripe a little bit, so you could really see the different colors all laid out, and they looked really awesome. So definitely check that out. And then lastly, it's a brand new colorway. This will be available to you. And I know you're all going to go crazy and want it because that's what happens. That's why this colorway is named what it is. This colorway is called Justified. Now, there's a story behind this yarn because my husband sometimes likes to pick out colors. And it seems to be that when he picks out colors, they sell really well. Limitless, Motion, Rare Breeds, all his colorways. So he gets a little cocky sometimes and he thinks, oh, I'm great at picking colors. My colors sell better than yours. So I humor him, and whenever he wants to pick colors, if he wants to participate, I'm going to let him. I'm not going to tell that man no. Are you kidding me? So he comes at me with these very specific requests. I want one that's red and gold and silvery gray, but not a lot of gold, just a little gold, and even less silver. And I want like narrow stripes, but I want the red to be bigger stripes. And so he stands over my shoulder as I dye, and he tells me when I've got it and when I don't. So yarn, of course, is folded in half in the dye pot, and I'm not ever going to get this to line up just the same. Let me try my best here. This is the colorway. This is almost how it gets dyed in the pot, that you can see that it's not quite lined up. But it's more red on the sides, a row of silver, then some gold, a really thin stripe of red in the middle, and then it goes back the opposite way. So this is actually how I dye it in the pot. Okay. Short color repeats. And I had the red took me forever. He was like, I like this red, but it's not quite this red. But it's not really that red. It's more red. I said, well, is it an orange red or is it a pink red? Red tends to go one way or the other. And he said, no, it's really just a red. Well, what the F is a red? But then he wants it dark. So then I had to add black. And then it wasn't dark enough. So then I had to add more. Ended up with this yarn, which even I have to admit, it's really pretty. This is Justified. It is this nice brick red, some aged sort of brassy gold, some silvery gray in there, and there's a little bit of shading and stuff in there as well. So kind of reminds me of Harry Potter, sort of Gryffindor sort of colorway, but it's called Justified because he's justified in picking colors because they are always popular. So this is Justified. If you want it, I've got 3 available in the shop. Maybe they won't sell. Maybe then I would be justified in saying that he was being too picky with his dyes in the order that they went in. We'll see how that goes, I guess. Of course, I'm not going to be able to tighten this because I don't have my stick. I use a pencil to see if that works. So that's what I have so far. I also, if you can see, there's 2 pots right here. This pot and that pot. They are filled right now with Bouncing with Brody yarn. I got my dyes today, and I have started. There's 6 skeins of yarn in there, and I'll have another 6 going probably before the weekend, probably tomorrow. I don't have to go grocery shopping tomorrow. I'm just running, which I haven't even talked about that yet. So anyway, I should have plenty of time tomorrow to do that before I cook dinner and all that. So hopefully, maybe not by this weekend, but by Monday, I hope to have the Bouncing with Brody's out. So a significantly shorter wait time than the last section. So if it goes really well, I'll try and do more. You know, Mommy Needs Yarn's walk isn't just yet, so we'll see what we can do. I'm not making any promises. Show season's creeping up on me fast. So that's what's in the dye pots. I gotta go look at my notes to see what's next. Sorry, excuse me, just 1 second. Growth, processes, and Grabby Hands. All right. Growth. I am reading Beyond Knit and Purl by Kate Atherley. That's the book that I was sent by Cooperative Press for review. I'm in chapter 11, which is the lace chapter. Love it. I want to do this book justice and do a full review because it's not a book for everybody. So I'm going to, I'm reading this thing cover to cover. And I'm actually, because I received the digital version of the book, I'm highlighting and annotating and doing all that. So I want to do that well. And I've got pages. I'm going to print out just specific pages instead of printing the whole thing for you guys. So I kind of got to get my act together and figure out what exactly I'm going to show you and how I'm going to do that review. It will be part of the regular podcast. It'll be Grabby Hands at the end, so you can always just shut it off and you won't miss anything at the end. But yeah, I'm really enjoying it. It's written in a very conversational, down-to-earth tone. It's not like a book that tries to be self-important and be all like technical. She's like, look, this is what you need to know. Socks have a toe and a heel, and some stuff above it is called the leg. Some stuff underneath it is called the foot. Like, Kate Atherley is very conversational, and I really like that, especially because this book Beyond Knit and Purl is sort of, okay, I learned how to knit, now what? It's for the person who is branching out in his or her knitting, and I'm really enjoying it so far. I really, really am enjoying it. So I'm going to give it a good fuller review, but I'm going to do that next week. I've got just a couple chapters left to do. I'm about probably 75% of the way through, so bear with me on that. I'm loving it. I can't wait to review it. I'm going to be full and honest disclosure. I got the book for free, so, you know, I'm going to be honest in my review. I don't think it benefits anybody to just blow smoke, but I didn't pay my own money for it either. So, just so you know. Okay. What's next? Processes. I have started dyeing for show season, which means instead of just doing 3 pans of a particular 3 skeins of a particular color, for example, or 3 braids of fiber, I call it double panning, which is not a trademark term. You can take that if you really want to. Double panning just means that instead of doing 3 in a pan, like I'm doing, I do 2 sets of 3 in a pan. So I'm actually doing 6 skeins or 6 braids at a time. It means that I have to mix more dye, which can get a little iffy, but as far as dye lot goes, but I try and do it all up ahead of time, and then I mix them so that they're pretty even. Not that it matters because they're going to different places, but that way, in case I get them mixed up and these 3 get mixed in with those 3, and I don't have to worry about them being different dye lots. But anyway, I've done old appliances and prisms so far, which sounds like nothing because it is nothing. I have so much more to do. But from now on, every yarn and fiber that I dye, I'm actually going to be doing double. I'm going to be double panning. So that's my process for the week. I just do 2 pans at once instead of 1. Set 3 aside. I do all the rescanning, braiding, banding, all of that. I do it all at the same time, and then I'm just putting them, the ones that are going to Frolic and SSK are going in a tote, and that tote is getting sealed, and it's just going to stay in the room until it's ready to go, and I'm just going to cram that sucker as full as I can. So hopefully that will be going well in the future. That's the plan. I would like to be able to say that I'm going to have 70 or 80 pounds for Frolic. I need to get my butt in gear. I'd love to have 100 pounds, but I don't know that that's going to happen. We'll see how it goes. Get on me. Keep asking me what I'm dyeing. It's hard too because I want to do a shop update for you guys, but everything that I give for you guys doesn't go into the shop. So that's kind of why the other reason that I do double pan, because it's easier to do 6 of one than to do 3 of one and give to you and 3 of a different colorway and set aside, because there's a lot of rinsing of the squirt bottles and recalculating of dyes and all that. So it's easier to do 6 of one than 3 of 2 different ones. So that's why I do it. Okay. How am I doing on time? I got 8 minutes. I got to do Grabby Hands. Oh! I totally forgot in the week in review the best part, because in 2 weeks from yesterday, I'm going to be doing a big podiversary episode, because I'm going to be my podcast will be 2 years old. It will be toilet trained, which would be nice. I'm going to be giving some stuff away. I told you I'm going to be giving away some of my patterns. I'm going to be giving away some fiber. I might do like a custom one-off, one-of-a-kind fiber or colorway, something like that for you guys, or specialty fiber. I'm not really sure. But I'm going to be giving stuff away. I've had people contact me and say that they want to give some stuff away too. Now, this leads me into Grabby Hands, but because one of these isn't a shop, I'm going to do it first. So my good friend Katie, whom, if you're not watching her, go watch her. It's amazing. She's amazing. I love her dearly. She said, I want to make some stuff for your podiversary. And what am I going to say? No. Of course I'm not going to say no. Katie's amazing. So Katie made me some stitch markers and a project bag to give away to you guys, which is adorable and sweet and wonderful. So this is a project bag that she knit. I'm sorry, or she didn't knit it, she sewed it. It's got a little fold in it because it was folded, but you can see there's cute little airplanes on it and frogs, and it's got this nice blue fabric at the top. It has a really wide cotton ribbon tie. It is not a lined bag. It is unlined. You can see the fabric right inside there. But it's really light, and it's the perfect size for socks or Afghan squares or baby sweater. It's good. I mean, it doesn't have a flat bottom, which I actually kind of like sometimes. But it's a cute little project bag, perfect for protecting your yarn and pattern as you're going, and I love it. So this will be going to a lucky viewer as well. And then the other thing Katie sent me, or gave me, were stitch markers. And Katie's got some gorgeous beads. This first one is a set of 4. They are, oh, impossible to see. It's a pink glass, and it has these little white, like, knobs on it all over the place. And they have a closed ring loop on them as well. So it's not like the key ring kinds that your yarn can get caught in. Your yarn can't get caught in these, but so there's 4 of these. They have little silver bead on the top and bottom. And then the next set are gorgeous as well. They're these sort of brass covered cutaway glass beads. And there's a set of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and there's one green one in there that you could use as a beginner row counter as well. I don't know how well you can see those. But they're gorgeous. Here you go. See how there's like brass on it, and this is a beautiful cutout. And again, they have that closed ring as well. So these ones will probably, I haven't checked to see how high they'll go, but they got to go at least probably to a 7. So they're quite roomy. This is a set of 5, this is a set of 4. And then into Grabby Hands, which I'm flying through, I know, I got 5 minutes. I hate feeling rushed. Their lovely Flancers emailed me from Ear Dormant, etc. Now that's an Etsy shop, and I've already got it linked, so it'll be ready to go. She does stitch markers, she does earrings, she does really gorgeous sets. She emailed me and said, listen, I know that Katie is giving you stitch markers, but I want to give you some too. Is that okay? And I was like, heck yeah, that's okay, because she's amazing and her stuff is beautiful. I hope she sends something really pretty so I can at least ogle it before I send it to you. She said she's sending some stuff to me. I don't have it yet, so I have no pretties to show you, but hopefully I will next week or the week after on the podiversary episode. It is ear adornments, EARDORNMENTS, ETC, ear adornments, etc. Like adornments, but check her out. Okay, that's the first Grabby Hands. Now, there's other Grabby Hands as well. And one I just want to mention, I don't have anything, but I want to mention. Bitch and Becky, the Boutique of Badassery on Etsy, is going to have to temporarily suspend operations. She's in Germany with her husband who's in the military, and they're moving back stateside. So you have until the middle of May, I think she said, before she's going to have to shut her shop down. Her fabric choices and her bag designs are lovely. I really want the Little Miss Notions pouch. It's freaking cute. But Bitch and Becky has got some great project bags and stuff. If you're really looking for something a little bit different, really whimsical fabric and stuff, super cute, try Bitch and Becky and get to her quick because she is going to have to move stateside here right off. So that's the other one. Now, one more thing I can't show you, but you see how that's directed. Was it directed at you? It's directed at, okay, this one's directed at me because I can read that out. Because I'm the only loser in the world who had not watched Firefly before now. I just started watching Firefly this week, and I freaking love it. Firefly is a post-apocalyptic, dystopia, kind of futuristic sci-fi show. It's got spaceships and everything else. 500 years in Earth's future. Not the best acted show in the world, but freaking funny. Oh my god, there's not an episode yet that I haven't laughed out loud. If you haven't watched Firefly yet and you have Netflix, go watch it. Worth it. And Captain Mal, who is Nathan Fillion, worth watching that one from bed. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I love it. I'm sad that there's not a whole lot of episodes. I don't know how many I have left, but probably not much. So we'll see what happens from there. Okay, the last Grabby Hands, I do have a chance to show you. I got to do this really quick. This is another thing that's new to me that I don't think is new to anybody else in the world. I just recently found stash teas. This is an oolong tea. And do you see that flavor right there? Chocolate mint. Stash teas were introduced to me by Katie, Knit Girl. Not Knit Girl, Jet Girl 1313, duh. Come on, you. And she had this chocolate mint tea, and she was like, you try it. So she gave me some chocolate mint tea, and I tried it, and it's freaking delicious. I love flavored teas. I love flavored coffee. I love flavored everything. And this is just amazing stuff. Super cheap. Got it at the grocery store, regular grocery store. And then the other thing is, sorry, you probably don't like the sound of that. It's called Stash Teas. Whoever invented this company is a knitter. That's all I'm saying. Has to be. Stash Teas does have a website. It's just stashtea.com. Stashtea.com. They have so many flavors. And they have a bunch that you can get, like 10 packs, which this is 18. A 10 pack's just a couple of bucks. They have samplers, they have everything. Go in with your knit group or a bunch of your friends and just mix and match and go all crazy. They have some flavors there that I was just like, oh, really want to try that. I'd love to get a bunch of teas and order them and then like just disperse them among my friends. Like we each take, 6 of one, half a dozen of another, that sort of thing. I think that sort of wheeling and dealing would be awesome. And it would be a pretty cheap way to try a bunch of teas. But they do have sampler packs, so maybe I'll do that instead. It's too many choices. I don't drink a lot of tea, but I really, it's perfect in the afternoons, but I really can't have coffee because I don't ever sleep again. Clearly, I'm a little caffeinated right now, even though I only had a half a cup, but it's lovely. Totally worth it. And I'll still hopefully be able to sleep tonight. Might have to watch a little more Captain Mal. Just saying. Alright, guys. That's all I have this week. I'm sorry this episode is a little rushed. But you know me, I gotta talk to my honey, so... Oh, that sounded like Katie. Sorry about that. I have to talk to my husband. He'll be down this weekend, so, you know, I gotta do that last minute. Can you bring me my sweatshirt? Can you bring me a tote? You know, those sorts of things. So, like clean laundry. Until next week then, guys. Next week, remember, is the shop update. It's not this week, it's next week. Until next week, guys, happy spinning and knitting, and thanks for tuning in.